Huzzah! I'm only 10 minutes late. And we don't have a Steven yet. But hello! We will get this thing's going. Oh my goodness. Needy little thing, you. Hello, Arliel and Ember and Catskills and Mr. Valley and iDragon and Lieutenant McLean and SoCal RMD and G. And I don't know if anybody did other things before I got here, but that's all that I can see.
There's a lot of like resubs and stuff.
On the thing. Yay, resubs. Thank you. We love you. So, yeah, sorry for the late start. I was at rehearsal. I got out of there as quickly as I could. Stayed as long as I could because that's the kind of person that I am, and I underestimated the amount of time it would take me to get back because that's who I am as a person.
No.
So
Stop.
Oh, the shirt says the struggle is real because that felt appropriate for today. Announcements. We don't really have a lot of announcements right now. We are coming up on our 1 year. That's next week.
Yeah. Monday or Wednesday?
Yeah, something like that.
Because it's actually Tuesday.
Yeah, it's actually Tuesday, but it's next week, and we're super excited about it. What else? We are taking a little mini break for 2 weeks. Well, Friday in 2 weeks. Basically, when Snowvember starts.
Snowvember?
Huh? November?
Oh, you said Snowvember. I thought
Not
you knew something that I didn't know.
No. November 1st through November 15th, we will be taking a little break. So Steve and I can focus on the show, and so Derek can relax and play his video games. Because we all know that's what you're going to do. There might be another Friday. That following Friday might be out too, but we'll get there when it comes. We are sitting at 575 followers. Had some issues there. Oh, Ember, hi. I don't think I said your name earlier. 575 followers, which means we're only 25 followers away from our goal of 600 followers. Help us get there, please. And thank you. Tonight we're playing Gloom. Gloom. Doesn't really work well up here because it's so small. So I don't know what we're going to put up there, but you know. We also have several of the expansions. So we'll be playing those. Hey, Phil! So yeah, we'll be playing this. Hopefully, Steven will get here momentarily. He was finishing out the song that they were doing and then coming this way. I think so. Because technically Wednesdays aren't a conflict for him, but
he's the only one that's a really big fan of this game.
No, I like this game.
Oh. Come on.
It's a story game. I like this game. Once I figured out how to play it, I like it. Because it's fun. Because all you're doing is tearing people down and stuff, making them sad. That is the point of the game. Hey, Timberwolf! Yes, we must RP. Telling stories. Hey, Liz! Hi, Sijin. Yes, hello, Mittens. But yes, we're gonna go ahead and play the how to play, and then I'm gonna fix some things that I was supposed to fix earlier today that I completely forgot about. And that's a terrible plan. No, let go of that. And we'll get that set up. I don't think the how to play is that long. But we'll see, and we'll see you momentarily.
The sky is dismal and dreary. The lakes are murky and dangerous. There's an air of cheerlessness and sorrow, and misfortune lurks around every shadowy corner. Welcome to the world of Gloom. Gloom is a card game for 2 to 5 players from Atlas Games. Players will take on the role of narrator to tell the sorrowful story of their family tree. Will your story be the most dreadful of all, or will sunshine and rainbows ruin the dark tale? Let's find out in Gloom. Each player will start by choosing a family and laying down the 5 family cards face up in front of them. Shuffle the remaining non-family cards and place them face down in the middle of the table to form a draw pile. Each player draws 5 cards for their starting hand. Whoever has had the worst day goes first. If everyone has had equally dreadful days, whoever owns the game goes first. Now you are ready to play. During your turn, you will make 2 plays and draw back up to your hand limit, in that order. There are 5 different types of play. Play a modifier, play an event, discard your hand, pass, and play an untimely death. Modifiers have a black text plate with white text and may have story icons on them. They can be used to either add positive points to self-worth or negative points to self-worth. If the modifier played has an immediate effect, that is resolved first before anything else can happen. Multiple modifier cards can be placed on the same character. Some cards can give you a free play, which simply means that you will get an extra play on top of your 2 plays. Event cards have a gray text plate with red text and a red central image showing all of the story icons. When an event card is played, follow the effect listed on the card and place it in the discard pile. You can choose to discard your entire hand, but there is a catch. If you choose to discard your hand as your first play, you cannot draw your hand back up until the end of your turn, so you won't be able to play any cards for your second turn. You can choose to pass one or both of your plays if you don't have any cards to play, or just don't want to play them. Untimely death cards have a gray text plate with black text and a skull image that will cover the portrait of the character it is played on. If you want to play an untimely death card, this must be done on your first play. These cards are played on living characters with a negative self-worth. Cards can be played on any living characters. This includes other players' characters. Cards cannot be played on dead characters unless the card specifically says otherwise. Some cards will have effect icons on them. The arrows pointing to the right are immediate effects. These occur as soon as the card is played. The arrows looping to the left are response cards. These are played during other players' turns in response to their plays. The circle with the arrows pointing to the left are continuous. These cards trigger as soon as it is played and is in play until the effect text is no longer visible. Once you have made your 2 plays, draw back up to your hand limit. Unless it is altered by card effects, your hand limit is always 5. However, if you have more than 5 cards in your hand, you do not have to discard down to 5. When it is your time to draw, you do not draw more cards until you drop below the 5-card limit. The moment that any player's entire family dies, the game ends and scoring begins. You only gain points for the self-worth points that are visible on your dead family members. The player with the lowest family value wins, and that's Gloom.
There we go.
You're gonna want to.
Yep. Yeah. I'm super professional. Super professional. I mostly remember how to play this. I know that you don't. So, it's fine. But you do need to pick a family. I know Steven usually plays this one. So we'll leave those for him when he gets here. So which family do you want?
I don't know.
I don't remember which one you usually are. Let's turn on the music. Yeah, there it is.
No, I don't like that.
It is super duper pro. I'm total pro.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that Steven will give me a, like, hey, on my way. Fingers crossed. We're focusing very much on board games at the moment.
What was the question?
D&D.
Oh yeah.
We're focusing on board games.
She's dead, Jim.
We'll do one-shots here and there. And, we'll see. I know he's in rehearsal, but...
I guess I'll do this one.
You gonna do that one? Which one?
I don't know.
I'm gonna do this one then, because I like Bulletproof Bonnie. I believe we have to get rid of one of the characters, or two of the characters, when you're playing. A 4-player game, each uses one character. Keep this key to play with 5 players. Oh, okay, no, never mind. That's only whenever you're playing with four players. Neat. Okay. So we're not playing with any of the expansions right now. The expansion cards. We have the expansion families out, but not the special cards.
Oof.
What?
Nothing. Just reading these cards.
Okay. So. I'm gonna move these off the table. Keep this close by. Here is your reference card. Here is your starting hand. And then lay out my family. I think I'm going to zoom in just a little bit to see if we can get these, you know. It's not a bad idea to play a quick round.
Do the rules change?
It would just be with only 3 family members instead of there it is. Let's see if I can zoom in a little bit without losing too much.
I think the most intriguing part of this game is the translucent cards.
I love the translucent cards are really cool. There. Hi, Tiger Planet! There. We'll try that. I mean, it surely can be in honor of the new, Addams Family movie. It's mostly just because it's a spooky game. Alright. So, do you want to run down? We'll pull out the rules.
Sure.
The rules are on a paper, which is nice. So you're going to make 2 plays. I remember this. So you're going to do one of these, or 2 of these.
2 of them, yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
And then you're gonna draw back up.
Uh-huh.
That's like super simple.
Okay. And
Some of them are free plays.
how does it to win?
So basically, if I remember correctly, I think you're playing until a family completely dies. Yeah. It ends the instant the last character in any family dies. Then you add up the self-worth, and then the lowest score.
The lowest score?
Well, the one with the most
points.
Yeah.
Wins.
Yeah.
Okay.
Those who are the most miserable. Hey, Fuzzy.
Tiger Planet. I am not a fan of the Addams Family. I'm just not for any particular reason. I just never liked it, so I have no desire to see the new movie. Also, I'm very particular about animation styles, and this one does not appeal to me in the slightest.
That's not stop motion, so that's usually your...
That's a non-starter for me, but I'm just not a fan of this art style. So I have to lay all these out.
Yeah. If you want to say your family members. I can scoot mine over. I zoomed in a little bit. I may have zoomed in too much.
I have...
I'm just showing to the camera.
Professor Helena Slogar. She appears to be a matriarch of some sort with a skull in her hands. I have Melissa Slogar, who apparently is a cadaverous child, so apparently she's dead. That's interesting. I have Grogar, which appears to be a teddy bear that has the implanted brain of a person in it. It says he's a work in progress. I have Lord Slogar, who is a brain in a box. That's interesting. And Elias E. Gore, who is an itinerant gravedigger. That's what I have.
Okay. I have Boyles Malone, the ugly American. And it says at the bottom, it's not just a figure of speech. I have Little Miss Mina, the poisonous princess. She goes through all pairs by the pair, which I think is funny. I have Pincels Pierre, the gourmet accountant. Cooking the books is his specialty.
And cooking the books.
Chopper Johnson, the hatchet man. He's got an axe to grind. 5 of them, actually. And Bulletproof Bonnie, the maniacal mole. She's a pistol. I like to think that this is the Bonnie of Bonnie and Clyde, as she is dressed in flapper attire.
And Bonnie was shot dozens of times by weapons.
She was. Indeed, indeed, indeed.
By Woody Harrelson and Michael Keaton. No, not Michael Keaton. The other one. Not Batman.
Michael Caine?
No.
Not Batman.
He looks like Michael Keaton. Not. He's older. And I can't believe this.
Tisk, tisk.
Kevin Costner.
That's not Michael Keaton at all.
No, but they look similar. They can be confused.
Alright, Can one of the mods put exclamation point Steven Picks in the chat? Derek, you're going first.
Great.
Hi, G. I love I like the Broadway one. The touring, what they did when it started touring is not my favorite, but I won't get into that.
I'm gonna say that Professor Helena Slogar was
Okay, you do know that you want negative numbers, right? I'm making sure you know that before you play that. You want the lowest number.
Negative numbers?
Yeah. You want the lowest number.
Even though they're in red?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Positives are positive self-worth. Negatives are negative self-worth.
Okay.
And your points only count if they're dead.
Alright, so the teddy bear then was pursued by poodles.
No story there? I feel like there's definitely... that it makes so much sense that the teddy bear was...
We don't do that at the end.
No, you do it now. You do it as you do it.
He's a stuffed animal and they're poodles.
Okay. Hi, Puma! It's all good.
And then I can do two things.
You can do two things.
Oh, great.
Make any two of these plays. You can play a modifier.
The dead girl stole from a stiff. She's a stiff herself.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah.
For the stiff, I guess.
Okay, you can
Draw up.
draw it. Okay, so I'm going to discard this one for sure. But let's do this. So we have Boyles Malone, and obviously Boyles Malone is covered in, boils. So he was in fact burdened by boils.
You gave him double boils?
Yeah, I did. I gave him double boils. It made sense.
Sure.
So I'm going to give you... I'm going to go ahead and give you... I'm going to give you that one.
You just give it to me?
Yeah, give a card of your choice from your hand to the player on your right, which you are both my right and my left. So, I'm going to draw 3 cards.
Where do you see that at?
Right here.
Oh, it's on that card. I see.
Yeah. Wait, Skittles are bossy?
They told him
Oh,
that
okay.
they
They're
were
shares.
shareable.
I understand.
Is that it?
That is it for me.
Well, I'm gonna say that Mr. Boyles,
What about Mr. Boyles?
he, surprisingly enough, was wondrously well wed.
Oh. Okay. So I get to draw 2 cards. When you play it on me,
Sure.
it affects me. So
Okay.
I get to draw the 2 cards.
Okay.
Just making sure you know that.
Well,
I'll skip my second turn.
Whew.
Alright, so I'm gonna play Twist of Fate.
Twist of fate.
Replace the top modifier card on a character with one from your hand. Keep the modifier you replace.
Wait a minute. I thought those were untimely death cards.
The untimely death cards are black. They have a black background.
Oh, so I can just play
Those
this
are
shit
event
whenever
cards.
I want?
Yeah, those are event cards.
Oh.
I'm gonna get rid of that. I'm replacing it with Mauled by a Manatee. So, Boyles Malone went from being wondrously wed, but while he was on his honeymoon, they went swimming with manatees, and he was mauled by the manatees.
That makes sense. They eat lettuce.
I don't know, he was mauled by manatees.
She was gummed by manatees.
And then poor Mr. Boyles Malone. Not only was he mauled by manatees, but he was torn limb from limb. Rest in pieces.
What about that card I played on him?
I was able to replace it.
Oh.
But because of this, the skip draw phase, I have to skip the draw phase on my turn. Which is fine, because I still have 5 cards.
Okay. Well, I was unaware that I could play these whenever I wanted.
Well, not whenever you want, but that's one of your 2 plays. You can play a modifier, you can play an event, you can play an untimely death.
I thought they were untimely death.
Nope.
Okay, well then I'm going to play the Root of All Evil. I get to draw 1 card from each opponent's hand, and if I control a character with the coin icon, I may play any number of these cards as free plays now.
Is it random?
Just 1 card from another player's hand.
Manatees are mean.
They're not.
They're not mean. But these manatees were mean.
Maybe they just didn't like how ugly or American he was.
They are indeed. Sea cows. I do not.
I am going to skip my second turn.
You're not gonna play anything?
I don't have anything to play.
Okay. Okay, well. So, Mr. What is that?
No.
Grogar over there? Is that his name?
The teddy bear?
The teddy bear? He may have been pursued by poodles, but while he was being pursued by poodles, he ran by a pond. The poodles ran away, and upon that pond were ducklings, as he was delighted by those ducklings. So, you draw 1 card for each ducky icon in play.
So just 1.
Yeah, just 1. And then Bulletproof Bonnie. Hi, Chalice. Bulletproof Bonnie. Actually, no. Pencils. It's gonna be Pencils Pierre. Pencils Pierre. It was found out that he was cooking the books. So as his life came crashing down around him, he was scarred by scandals. I'm gonna discard my. Oops. Well, I'm throwing my cards. There's one. Where the other one went?
Don't know.
It's probably under there. Somewhere.
Oh, I don't see it.
No? Okay. 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 Well, I lost a card. But I was discarding them all anyway. It doesn't say anything about that I can't draw back up, so I'm going to draw back up to my hand limit of 5. 3, 4, and 5. Woo!
Okay. On my turn, I'm going to play a tragic misunderstanding,
Oh no.
which lets me choose 2 living characters and swap their top modifier cards. I'm going to take this duckling card and put it on top of the Pierre gentleman.
I mean, yeah, that makes sense. I feel like you don't have to do the thing on it because you're just swapping. Dang it.
And then I'm going to play Misfortune Favors the Old, which says I can play up to 2 additional cards this round. They can be any combination of untimely deaths and modifiers with never mind.
Hi, Drowning Rabbit.
Any of that.
Welcome, welcome. We are missing a person this evening, but as soon as his rehearsal is over, he will be here. I technically have Wednesdays as a conflict, so I only need to be there for a short period of time and then pieced out of there because
I'm
I
gonna
didn't want
play
this.
Till Death Do Us Part.
Yeah.
Which lets me get a untimely death card from the discard pile.
Yeah, that makes sense. Ember. Okay, I think that's it for you. That's your second.
I apologize. I am playing this so that I can play this.
There you go.
And now I'm playing this.
Gotcha.
And I am.
She is. She's definitely right there. She is. She's one to come in real bad.
I'm gonna kill the teddy bear. He ran out of air. The poodles chased him into that duck pond, but he didn't feel the thrill of those ducks. But he ran to the lake anyway, and the teddy bear drowned.
Poor teddy bear. Poor teddy bear. Well, Pencils Pierre may have been delighted by ducks, but as he was looking at these ducks and chasing these ducks, what he didn't see was the hole that his foot then stepped in. As he stepped into that hole as he was running, he tripped and proceeded to roll and roll and roll down the hill and broke many bones. Many bones. And then little Miss Mina, the poisonous princess. She went outside to play one day, and unfortunately got lost.
Mm-hmm.
And when she got lost, it started to storm. It started to rain. And it was just around dinner time. And she starved in that storm. Unfortunately, you didn't leave the cake out in the rain.
Sure.
Alright, I'm gonna let her in so she'll stop scratching the door. I'll leave the door. Way cooler out there than it is in here.
Well, as she was starving in her storm, whatever her name is,
Pint Size, thank you so much for those 10 happy butts.
one of her constituents came round
Come here.
and took her into their home and fed her and dried her because she was popular in Parliament, apparently.
Oh no. Oh, I get to draw 2 cards.
So Lord Slogar is a brain in a box. Do you want to know the reason he's a brain in the box?
I do want to know the reason why he's a brain in a box.
His body was pierced by porcupines. Multiple porcupines. All of the piercings. There was barely any body left.
Oh. Goodness. That would be why he's in a box, isn't it? I'm gonna have to discard after this one. Stay here. Stay here. Yes, you can love. Yes, I will give you loves, but you have to stay here.
Why do you have to discard?
I'm going to have to because I have too many cards. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right. So. Oh no. Kitty, what have you done? All right. So, I'm going to play. Hey. Hi.
Stop interrupting.
Don't like that one. All right. So, Chopper Johnson, the Hatchet Man, he has an axe to grind. She's stepping on your card. She's very happy right now. His axe that he must grind.
Ow.
Because
Jesus. Stop it.
I don't feel like Chopper Johnson is all that intelligent. He was, in fact, swindled by a salesman. Alright, I'm going to give you this card.
Excuse yourself.
And then I'm going to play
Stop that noise. Isn't that two? Oh no, your passing was the thing.
Yeah. I'm going to play I'm going to play this one. So little Miss Mina over here.
Satanatina, eating her curds away.
Little Miss Muffet. Little Miss Mina, she's young. She's very young. But she's a little... Actually, no, I don't want to do that one. I want to do this one, because it makes more sense. Pencil's Pierre. He broke many bones, and as we know, he is a crooked accountant. But what we also did not know is that he's been in trouble with the IRS.
The Internal Revenue Service?
Yes.
Sure.
He's been in trouble with the IRS. He's opened one too many credit cards. He's got too many loans, as he was crippled by creditors. Alright, so you're gonna take 2 cards from my hand. Final score in dead so far? 40 on this one that's dead, and 40 on this one that's dead.
Okay, is that your turn?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Negative 40. Okay. I need to draw up. 1, 2, 3.
So I have
Bring out your dead.
the dead girl
I'm not yet dead.
who stole things from a stiff.
Mm-hmm.
Well, after she stole the things from the stiff, she was cursed by that crone. That crone is her mother. And
He will be home soon. Perhaps he will feed you before you come. Nope, you're not getting that. I'll put you back outside. I love you, but you must go.
okay. While she's gone, I'm going to play an imaginary friend, which lets me choose a card from a family, a living card, and remove it from the game, and I'm going to choose this fella. And then this card is removed from the game.
Okay, rude. Alright. I feel happy. I feel I'm not yet dead.
It's your turn. The end condition is everybody's dead.
It is.
Oh, I have to draw down?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, okay. You just can't
Let
draw
me-
cards.
Yeah, I just don't think you can draw cards. I don't know where the rules went. I'll double check. I will look.
It says draw limit.
You aren't forced to discard cards. You just don't draw until you have fewer than 5.
Okay.
Which probably would have changed the way I played the last game. The last one, but, you know. Yay! Alright, so... What's her name?
Melissa.
Melissa. She was cursed by a crone.
Yes.
But what she didn't know, that someone was watching as this happened. And this person happens to be a person of the church. And she was then blessed by the bishop. Little Miss Mina over here. I don't know what this means, so I'm just gonna say it, and I'm probably not gonna have a story for it. But she was castigated by the queen. But I have to discard my entire hand. So. Okay. What are you going to do? Let's keep my stuff together here. The only downside to this is the fact that the character portraits start to get obscured with the when you lay stuff on top of them, because they're kind of frosted. And I guess it just kind of happens when you lay translucent over translucent over translucent.
I have shitty cards.
Well, you can always discard.
No, thank you.
Oh, I did this incorrectly earlier. This discard is discard your entire hand, not just like a card.
Right.
So I did that incorrectly earlier. I just discarded a card.
I'm going to play a card and say that Professor Helena Slogar went mildly mad.
Discard one card from your hand every time you play a modifier card, including this one. Oof.
And I will skip my second turn.
Okay. So the first thing I'm going to do is Lord Slogar down here, who had previously been pierced by porcupines, came to terms with what happened, and that he was a brain in a box. And slowly but surely, his life withered away, and he died without cares.
Is that just zeros?
Yep. Huh? You got rid of one of mine, so that is payback. Oh my gosh. These cards are terrible. So, Chopper here, Chopper Johnson, while he was being swindled by salesmen, I don't know what this means. Hang on. I must look it up so I can have a story.
Castigated.
Oh. Wait, let me get that. No, I didn't worry about Castigated. This one I wanted to. Okay. While he was being swindled by salesmen, the salesman sneezed on him. And in the next few days, he just wasn't feeling quite right, as he had contracted consumption.
He was coughing up blood.
Yeah. For those of you who don't know what that is, that's tuberculosis. I had to look it up. I didn't know what consumption was. I knew what tuberculosis was, but I didn't know what consumption was.
They were consumed with disease. Okay. Well.
But my draw limit is now decreased by a card, so I can only draw up to 5.
I have Igor here.
Igor!
He's a grave digger. Well, he was digging a grave and came across one of those wasps' nests that's on the ground, which looks like a person's face.
Yeah.
And he was wounded by wasps.
Okay.
And I will skip my second turn.
You're doing a lot of skipping of your turns there. Alright, so Bulletproof Bonnie over here. She was out dancing one night at what are they called?
Dance club. Disco.
Yes. No.
Bar.
Speakeasy.
Sure.
Yeah, she was at a speakeasy. What she didn't know is that the speakeasy, of course, was, underground.
Mm-hmm.
As they are.
Mm-hmm.
But she didn't know that there were holes in the walls of the speakeasy that had crumbled from just water and the fact that it was the 1920s.
Shoddy workmanship.
And she didn't always go to the best of places.
Sure.
So while she was out dancing, through these holes, snakes began to appear. She was startled by snakes, not to mention being vexed by vipers and angered by asps. And then after that, she decided to get away.
Got it.
She didn't want to be near these snakes anymore. She was just so terrified that she decided that it was time for her to go on holiday. And she went expecting to have the best time, and you know what? It was just terrible. Just absolutely terrible. There were more snakes there.
The same girl?
Yeah, she just had a horrible holiday. I have
Got
to
it.
discard my entire hand, and I don't get to draw back up.
Got it. Well, does that mean you don't get another turn?
I'll draw back up. I basically
Lose your next turn.
lose my next turn.
Okay. Well, I have
The
this
snoot. Bow show.
this woman.
Tooth pose.
I don't know about that. Okay. I have
I saw the hazard macaroni the other day. It's so cute.
this man Igor who was wounded by wasps But other than that, it had a pretty mellow life. He grew old without grace, however. So,
Oh no.
there it is.
I do believe. I actually think it might have been you who shared it, Catskills.
And then Professor Helena, who previously went mildly mad, in her madness, went to a disco
Okay.
and was disgraced at a dance.
Oh no. So you went to a disco and mine went to a speakeasy.
Indeed.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Three, four. Go ahead. Take your next turn.
Uh-huh. Okay. I'm going to play Igor, who had the wasps and grew without grace, died of despair. And then I have to discard my hand.
Oh no. Alright, well. How do I keep getting those?
Whoa, I have too many cards.
Well, this actually makes sense. So Chopper Johnson here. He's been swindled by salesmen. That salesman gave him consumption. And it didn't get better. It didn't get better for Chopper. As he died from his consumption as he was consumed from within.
From the consumption.
From the consumption.
Got it.
Okay.
That's all you get to do in your turn. When you play a death card.
Oh. I said.
I think that's what it says.
Oh, it's first play only.
Yeah.
I actually don't think I would have been able to play that. But that was like way back at the beginning. Oops. But yes, you're right. It's the only play of this turn.
Okay.
Wait, no, it just says first play only. So I can only play it as my first thing. So I couldn't like play something and then stack it, which is what I did here.
So on my last
But-
turn, I could have played something else.
Yeah.
Okay.
But since you did not on your last turn, I will not on this turn. So I will stop and then we will play it
Correctly.
correctly.
Okay,
Wait,
so
it's still at 4. Dang it.
little
Hi.
Melissa Slogar, who got fucked up by the bishop.
Well, she got blessed by the bishop.
What did I say?
I'm not going to repeat what you said.
I
don't know
is now shunned by society.
where there was a cord that this plugged, and I don't know where it went.
And also, Princess
Thank you, Catskills, for the 10 zombie
Bulletproof
biddies.
Bonnie
For Stephen Lives.
now had a picnic in the park.
No!
Oh, I get to draw 2 cards. Thank God. Thank you. Actually.
A wild Stephen appears.
Hello. I'm going to adjust coloration. It's really bright on everything.
Go ahead. Do your thing. It wasn't quite as bright whenever we didn't have things on them. But
Hello, everyone.
Are you done?
Hello, Catskills.
Yes.
Hello, Pine Size.
Oh,
Hello, Ember. Hello, Tiger Planet. Hello, Meta. Hello, Chalice. Hello, G. Hello, iDragon. Hello, Sunny. I can do this all night. Anybody else out there lurking? DK Aspie, hello.
Lurking. All right. So, Little Miss,
Muffin.
Little Miss Mina was castigated by the Queen. What does castigated mean?
I'll look it up. You just take your turn.
Well, I need to know what it means before I can finish my stuff.
To castigate, to reprimand severely.
Oh. Part of her reprimanding
Reprimension.
was she sent her out into on a boat. Okay?
Sure.
It's part of it. And while she was out on that boat, she was galled by gangrene.
Oh, gangrene.
Hello, Tiger Planet. Hello, Mr. Valley.
And for your second deploy.
And for my second one, Miss Bulletproof Bonnie over here. She did indeed have a picnic in the park. She had a picnic in Central Park. I don't like the coloration.
Picnic in her pants.
Yes, it was in Central Park. And after her picnic, she decided she wanted to go to the zoo. So she went to the zoo to see all of the animals. And she thought she was going to have a lovely time. She did stay away from the snakes. However, when she got to the tigers, she was taunted by the tigers. Let's get my draw face.
The little dead girl's dead.
She was slain by an air.
I'm going to lose. Except for maybe this one. This one. Oh, I forgot I did this. So that kind of saves me. Oh, good. I don't have that stupid thing anymore.
And Professor Helena, whatever the hell her name is,
Helene.
now suffers from sores after her madness and dance disgrace.
Alright, well. After Miss Helena up there, don't forget your draw limit is decreased by 1. Those are the ones you usually play with, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. After she, what did she do? Suffered from sores. She was also diverted by drink. So you discard a card. Sure. And then I'm actually going to discard my hand because I don't like those. 2, 3, 4, 5.
I'm gonna kill Professor Helena and end this nightmare.
I think it ends as soon as.
She was eaten by bears.
I think it ends as soon as you end it, right?
Sorry.
There's no extra. Does he
The
start
game
it?
ends instantly.
Dang it! I lost.
Final scoring.
I just picked up so many of these too. I was so ready!
You shouldn't have killed one of my people.
You
What?
got rid of one of my people! how?
You ended the game. Help me in the game.
No. Now you're just being a poo head. Alright, my final score is... 90. Negative 90.
Alright. Have fun at the gym. Don't work too hard.
Bye, Sijin! Bye, Mittens! What did I say?
Negative 150.
You know what? I'm still proud of myself.
Negative 160.
I'm still proud of myself. I only had 2 characters die and I still got negative 90 points. So. Are you questioning my
30,
math?
40, 55, 60, 70.
80, 90.
Oh, I see.
It was 40 and 50.
Got it. I didn't see the tens.
Alright.
Well, that's Gloom.
A new player has entered the arena.
Yeah, you're gonna make us all look bad with our stories, too. I can't believe you got rid of Pencils Pierre.
You got a lot of points on him.
You did. You did indeed.
How's everybody doing?
Ha!
Did Derek wins? No one Derek won. Derek wins.
I'm so close to my
100th?
100th, but I don't know how I'm gonna do on these spoopy games. Here, I'll even do this so we have a little bit more room. Did you finish out the song?
Yes.
Cool. I'll ask you afterwards if there's anything I need to know. So. I was told we were just repeating what we had already learned. So, I peaced out.
More or less. Alright.
Cool.
So my family is Darius Stark's Den of Deformities. I have Darius Stark, who's the Sinister Ringmaster. I have Alessandra Deville, the Illustrated Lady. I have Samson O'Toole, the Bearded Man. I have Thumba Elsa, the Diminutive Diva. And I have Mr. Giggles, the Creepy Clown.
Thumbelisa.
Thumba Elsa.
Thumbelisa. I like her.
Mr. Giggles is my
She is
favorite.
me. I don't like Mr. Giggles. I don't mind Mr. Giggles. I like that he is just a skull. I like Thumbelisa.
Alright, Derek, you won.
She's tiny. She's a tiny little diva. I like that she has one. They have her in the horns. Yes, this shouldn't surprise you, Idra. Oh, also, you know what? If you're new, hi, welcome. We are Board Game House. We play board games on the internet for you. We play Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, except for tonight where we played at 8, which might honestly happen more often as the spook month goes on. But usually 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We play all sorts of board games. This month is Spook Month, so we're playing spooky games all month. We've played Betrayal at House on the Hill. We're playing Gloom tonight. We've got Eldritch Horror to play. We've got Elder Sign to play. We've got Mysterium that we want to play. We've got all kinds of stuff coming up. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. That will tell you what we're playing on what days and lets you know things that are going on. You know, stuff. You can also follow us on YouTube, where you'll find all of our how to plays, like the one for this game, and all of the other how to plays that we've done, and all of our VODs. Those are all also on the YouTube. Consider subscribing and liking and doing the things that you do on YouTube. If you're not following, consider hitting that follow button. We're only 25 away from our goal of 600. Please join us. We have fun. All it does is let you know when we go live. And you have to tell it to do that. Which, I mean, would also be nice. You just get a little thing that says, Board Game House is going live at 7 p.m. Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays.
Jump in our Discord.
It's not that big of a deal. Yeah, and jump in our Discord. It's fun. Also, as DK Aspie continues to remind me, we have a merch store. If you want our faces on a mug, you can get that. That's a thing that interests you.
We also have a For You shirt.
We do have a For You shirt. It's cute. I made it. Okay. That is my spiel.
Okay, the bear was written out of the will.
Oh no.
Because he's a teddy bear.
I mean, that does make sense. Don't want that one.
And
Cheap.
and that's all I'll do this turn.
Go draw back up?
I can't.
Oh, is it? Oh, skip your draw phase. Alright. I don't like my cards.
Discard that hand.
Yeah.
So remind me of the discarding rules.
Discard your whole hand. I did that wrong the last game.
Can I just see that real quick?
Yeah.
Thank you.
So, Boyles Malone, the ugly American, he not only has these boils, but while he was out and about, he contracted consumption.
Syphilis. Oh.
Oh, that's syphilis. Otherwise known as...
Tuberculosis.
No, I was actually talking about syphilis.
Oh.
Otherwise known as the composer's disease.
Oh, I was gonna say the kissing
Lots
disease.
of classical composers and syphilis.
No, consumption is what pretty much
TB.
everyone around Edgar Allan Poe died from.
I had to look it up.
Yeah.
But now I know what it is. But I am discarding the rest of my hand because that hand's dumb.
So, Edgar Allan Poe's biological mother, adopted mother, his wife, and his brother all died of consumption.
It was very common.
Yeah.
His wife was also his cousin.
Yes. Much, much younger cousin.
Much younger cousin.
They were in love.
All right. So, Darius Stark decided to set up his sideshow down in Florida. And while they were down in the swamps, unfortunately it was hurricane season, and a storm blew through.
Enough!
And little Thumba Elsa was kind of blown into the storm and couldn't find her way back.
Okay.
So she starved in the storm.
That was a much better description of starved in the storm than I did last game.
The problem is that what they did is they sent Samson O'Toole out to try to find Thumba Elsa.
Oh no!
So he was wading through the swamp, and while he was doing that, he unfortunately was mauled by a manatee.
Oh no.
That sounds very familiar.
Yeah, because I just had one by manatee.
And I skip my draw phase this turn.
Derek,
Yes.
what happens to your family? Or other families?
Sure. Well, somebody is gonna be swindled by a salesman.
Make a story. You can do it. You did it last game.
Igor doesn't look too bright. While digging a grave, he was swindled by a shovel salesman.
Okay.
And the shovel had germs on it, and then he got boils.
No.
Oh no, indeed.
Give one card of your choice from your hand to the player on your right.
Don't like that. I'm not gonna play it.
Give one card of your player on your right. Gotta do it once.
Don't like that either.
Okay, so neither of those things happened.
He did get the boils.
Okay, so you still have to give. So you're okay. So you're getting that one. You're skipping your second turn.
Yes.
Okay. How'd you? Oh, because you didn't draw the last time. Okay. Cool. So little Miss Mina, the poisonous princess, she was out walking one day in the gardens. And you know how little kids' imaginations are. It was getting dark, and as she was walking through the gardens, the sun was going down, and she saw something right out of the corner of her eye. She turned, and it looked like a scary, scary monster. But it turned out that it was just a bush. And but that nevertheless, she was indeed terrified by the topiary. And Boyles Malone over here, when he contracted consumption, as his body was becoming ill, and it being the time that it was, he began to notice little creatures joining him at night. And he was menaced by mice. I just really need to get rid of that
Okay.
other card. Hello?
So, little Miss Mina,
Hey, little Miss Mina, she's done nothing to you.
who was terrified by the topiary.
Yeah, she's terrified by the topiary.
So much so
Her cards in way.
that it, she may have been looking for a little bit of a distraction. And she may have tried to find that distraction at the bottom of the bottle.
Oh,
And she was diverted by the drink.
okay. What do I have to do?
Oh, there's a huge deck. And we played all of these cards last time.
I have to discard a card from my hand.
No, I have to discard a card. He
Oh.
played it on me.
Gotcha. So, our friend Darius Stark, he's supposed to be the sideshow peddler, but he's not too bright, and he looks a little bit like Danny DeVito as the Penguin.
Good night, Ember.
Good night.
Okay,
Um,
he does.
and while he was setting up his tent in the swamp, a insurance salesman came along and promised him alligator insurance.
Oh, that seems like a good idea.
It does. The problem is there's no such thing as alligator insurance. And that's why Darius was swindled by a salesman.
An insurance salesman.
Those bastards. And I have to give a card to you.
Nice.
And then I draw back up.
Come up with that story. You missed Phil in here.
Oh,
The teddy bear,
It's a teddy bear.
who was written out of the will,
Uh-huh.
went rogue. And he thought he would prove that he was a badass, and went toe-to-toe with gangsters. And then they burnt his fluff.
They burnt his fluff.
He was burnt by a mob.
Oh no.
Stir.
Oh no. Okay.
That lets me play a second untimely death on my turn.
Uh-huh.
And Igor, with the boils, was overcome by measles. It wasn't boils.
Oh no. I believe you can still play another
No,
card.
I'm using my second turn
Oh.
to
No.
play an untimely death.
You may use an untimely death card as your second play this turn. Yeah. Okay. Cool. All right.
Yeah.
All right. So Boyles Malone. He was consumed by consumption and was menaced by mice. And one day, he decided that he just needed to get out of the house. So he took all of his strength. He walked. Got outside. And he walked. And he walked. And he walked. What he didn't realize is that there was an uncovered well in the yard. And as he walked, he stepped onto this uncovered well and fell and plunged to his demise. Well, that was a really wonderful story, but that's not the card that I wanted to play.
No will.
It's a good story, though! Ugh, that's annoying. Okay, well... No, okay, we'll fix this. We'll fix this. It's fine. Alright, so... Just rewind. Menaced by mice.
Sure.
His family decided that it would be a good idea to try and get rid of the mice by burning them. Unfortunately, this did not go well for Boyles Malone, as he was badly burned and perished. Little Miss Mina, however, was playing outside. She was playing outside, and she also did not know that
There was a well.
there was a well. Yeah, but I'm looking at my thing, and I'm thinking that I did something dumb. But it's fine. Didn't know there was a well. She fell down the well. She's falling down the well. If this character has a negative self-worth score, you may play an untimely death card on it as a free play. She died of despair from falling down in that well.
Nobody came and found her.
And I have to discard the rest of my hand.
okay.
Well, I tried.
Well, so our friend Samson O'Toole, he can't remember he was mauled by manatees as he went out to look for Thumba Elsa in the swamp. The problem is the swamps are very hard to navigate, and he unfortunately never returned.
Oh no! Samson!
So the sideshow has all kinds of creatures. It's literally like a circus, including it has some tigers.
Tigers.
And Mr. Giggles
lions and tigers and bears.
Being made of bone, sometimes they may have mistaken some of his limbs and things for toys,
Well, of course.
and he was actually taunted by tigers.
Taunted by tigers. Oh my!
And I skip my draw phase this turn.
Okay,
Okay.
the brain in the box, Lord Slogard.
It's canon that he was pierced by porcupines, and that's how he lost his body. Same as last time.
It's canon.
Second action.
The dead girl
Melissa.
is dead, so she didn't really feel this, but was wounded by wasps.
Wasps. So pencils Pierre.
Draw back up.
Yeah, draw back up. Unless you can't this one. So pencils Pierre. He is a gourmet accountant. He cooks the books. Unfortunately, it was discovered
Oh no.
that he cooked the books. So he was put into prison. But while he was in prison, his cellmate mysteriously died. Ooh.
Ooh.
When they died, he decided, well, they must have things on them that they no longer need. So Pencils Pierre picked the pockets of his poor cellmate,
With his poor prison partner.
poor prison partner, and he stole from a stiff.
Alright. So, Mr. Giggles,
Mr. Giggles.
not having a lot of luck with the animals. First he was taunted by tigers. And then he went over to the lions. And you know what comes next?
The bears.
Oh my. And he was eaten
He was eaten by a bear.
by bears.
Oh no. Poor Giggles.
I don't think these cards got shuffled.
Poor Giggles. They did get shuffled. I watched him do it.
So, our poor guy that's our little brain in a box that's been
Brain in a box.
in this
Brain in the box.
loop
Brain in the box.
of constantly feeling like he keeps getting re-stung by all these porcupines, all
Yeah.
these quills getting stuck in him.
Yeah.
He decided to kind of try to break the cycle and try to do something nice for himself.
Okay.
So he had a picnic,
A
in
picnic.
the park.
Seems unlikely. He doesn't have a mouth or a stomach, and no reason to go to the mouth. He can't feel the sunlight or the grass or smell the air and see
Did
the
anyways.
children or.
Draw 2 cards.
Does anybody remember that show? I think it was like Evil Con Carne or something like that. I just remember there being a bear with a brain in a jar. This is what I'm thinking about with this brain in a box.
The little girl, who is dead and couldn't feel her body being ravaged by wasps, was upset that she couldn't feel it. So she became ruined by rum.
Ruined by rum?
Indeed, she drank herself.
She wanted to feel
She drank
something.
herself into a stupor.
She wanted to feel something.
Oh my.
And because he was forced outside by a weird stranger, he was cursed by a crone at the park.
Oh no.
That's what he gets for going outside. For no reason. It's your turn.
Yep. I'm gonna play this event card. And I'm going to discard these.
No!
Yes.
I have so many no points.
That one was worth a lot of points. And then I'm going to play nothing.
Okay.
Don't want this card. Don't want it.
Okay, so our friend, the illustrated lady, Alessandra Deville. The Deville name may sound familiar.
Mm-hmm.
A family of film,
Yes,
and
of course.
while she wore the veil, her name kind of gave away who she was, and unfortunately, she landed a legacy. So I draw 2 cards.
I mean, I feel like it's kind of a good thing. She's got a legacy there.
The problem that a lot of people don't realize about it is that while she did have that legacy, she also was haunted by her past
Oh no!
and her family that had already died,
Ah!
and she was pestered by poltergeist.
Oh, I get 2 cards.
It says give 2 cards of your choice to the player on your right.
That is me.
My madam is not very attractive in her age. She grew old without grace.
Well,
No, it's still my
I
turn.
know. I'm waiting.
Steven, somebody pick 2 cards.
Player to your right, I think. Yeah. Randomly select and discard 2 cards from your hand.
And then that's it. That's the end of my turn.
Okay. Well. She may have been pestered by poltergeists, but she was married magnificently.
You can draw. So
You
my
get- yeah, you get an extra.
Okay.
While the brain.
No!
We just the little girl instead.
I'd rather you do it to Steven!
I already did something to Steven.
He's got so many points on dead people!
No, I don't. You're the one that killed off 2 people right away because you're trying to end the game before you even
No,
get started.
he-
That's not at all
This
what
one-
happened.
this
These are
one
the only
was-
cards that I had.
This one was later.
No, they were the same turn because the one let him play second
Oh
the
yeah,
same
yeah,
turn.
yeah,
If I wanted to end the game, I would have done it already.
yeah.
Sassy pants.
Okay. Well, I'll just hide that one too. Alright, Bulletproof Bonnie. She's a pistol. She, didn't want children. She didn't want to have babies. She just wanted to live her life as a single, loving, loving life woman.
Ready to mingle.
Ready to mingle. But one day she went to the park to, wander and do as she pleased, and she wore her best dress. And unfortunately, her best dress was very sparkly and very pretty, so it attracted all of the little girls. So they chased after her, wanting to see her dress, thinking she was a princess of some sort. She did not like that. And she was chased by children. Clear to my right. There.
Second card?
I played one on you and...
Oh, gotcha.
that,
Okay.
So,
All right.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
So, our little, what is it?
Pierre.
Pierre.
Princess Pierre.
He cooked the books, ended up in jail, and then robbed his cellmate after he died.
Mm-hmm.
But the other thing that usually happens in prison is people find religion.
Uh-huh.
And while he was there, he was blessed by the bishop.
Oh my.
If you want, you may discard your whole hand and drop to your hand limit.
I have to discard any number of cards.
Yeah, you don't have to do it, but you can.
I'm gonna discard this one because I don't want that responsibility.
And for my second card, I'm going to play a Stormy Night. I draw 4 cards, and I can play any of them, including an Untimely Death, as a free action. And then I have to discard down until I'm at my hand limit.
Cool.
1, 2, 3, and 4. Play one of these. Okay. So the problem is, the card that I'm gonna play for free is gonna be a tragic misunderstanding.
Oh.
So. No, I don't want to do that one. Yeah. The problem is that where she thought she would be married magnificently, that actually didn't happen.
Oh.
What actually happened is she was tricked.
She's tricked.
And the man that she thought she was going to marry
Oh no.
was actually a witch in disguise.
Oh no.
And instead of being married, she was actually cursed by a crone.
Oh no. Just the top card.
And then I had to discard down to my hand limit. Just a second.
To discard down? Did it say that?
Uh,
Card?
and then discard down to your current hand limit is reached. But right now that's decreased by 1, so it's actually 4.
Yep.
So 2, 3, 4. Actually, take this one. Get rid of.
Did you feed your kitties?
I did.
That is why she's not at the door.
It is on Pretzel Rock's music. This is the, I think it's the ambient music channel.
Whoever married the brain in a box,
What about the brain in the box?
whoever he was married to,
Mm-hmm.
was a dipshit.
I'm assuming that it was her.
Oh,
I always assume that it's Helena.
I thought they were sisters.
The brain in the box?
Siblings. Either way, you can't marry a brain in a box. Shunned by society.
Discard your entire hand. Also skip your draw phase.
Old. The little dead girl's dead. She was chastised by the church because obviously
She's
you
dead.
can't be undead.
Okay. Draw limit is decreased by 1 card.
Indeed.
You actually have 2 of them now, so it's decreased by 2.
Yeah. I haven't had to draw cards in a long time.
Oof.
And
No,
whoever
that
this
one
is found
increases it.
love on the lake.
Oh, that one increases it? Oh, so you're good. This cancels each other out.
Cancels each other.
Alright. Okay. I've still got crap cards. So, pencils Pierre up there.
Why is he called Pencils because of the book thing?
Yeah, I think so. After he was blessed by the bishop, things took a turn for the worst. Because while the bishop thought he was helping, it turns out that he forced him to go mildly mad. Discard a card. So we could discard this one. And then Miss Bulletproof Bonnie over here. After she was chased by children, she may or may not have thrown some of them to get them away from her. This caused her to be scarred by scandals.
So I need to discard another card.
To discard my whole hand.
Oh, well, that means you discard one too.
Yeah. Anything had to be better than the card, the hands that I just had.
Okay.
So.
Well. So, the thing that you didn't talk about is why she was scarred by scandal.
Yeah.
You thought it was because of that.
That was because of the kids.
Yeah. See, she became quite infamous in town
Uh-huh.
because she was actually sleeping with a very wealthy to-do older gentleman.
That sounds like something Bulletproof Bonnie would do.
And for a while,
Clyde was actually younger than her.
Huh? Oh, yeah, true.
at first, she was chastised by these people, and they wanted to blame her for, dating this older man. It was very sensationalized. But what they realized when they got to know her is she was actually very fun, the life of the party. She threw the best parties in town.
Yes, she did.
And she actually became the toast of the town.
The toast of Mayfair.
And for my second one, I'm going to play the Root of All Evil. I draw one card from each opponent's hand if I control a money icon, which I do.
From each opponent's hand.
Yep, I draw one.
Okay, well, screw you.
And I can play these as a free action.
Yeah, screw you.
So I'm going to play. So she found love on a lake. The problem is that she found more than just love on that lake.
She found love in a hopeless place.
She actually found something that gave her some sores
Ew.
from that love.
Ew. Ew.
And then I can play this if I want.
Ew. Ew.
Nah, I don't want to.
Ew, Daniel.
You, David!
Alright, and draw.
Why do I keep on calling Daniel?
I don't know. That's what his real name is.
Oh, that's probably why. Ew, David.
Okay.
Fame at a lake. Fame at a feast.
Found fame. Can you at least, try to do the stories?
I don't know what the story is.
She found fame in a lake.
She
Or at a
found-
feast. No, come up with something.
I get to draw two cards.
Thumbelisa.
Now he was shunned by society.
Okay. Alright,
Hey, SoCal.
I'm gonna play Twist of
Skeletons.
Fate. Twist of Fate. I'm gonna replace the top modifier card on a character with one from my hand, and I get to keep the one that. So I'm going to take this one back, and I'm going to replace it with. She may have found love on the lake, but you know what? She was charmed by the circus where she worked. And Mr. Pencil's up there. When he got back from prison, he noticed. That is when he noticed that the sores began to appear. My hand limit is decreased. No, it's not. This increases it.
Okay. Well.
Fix his neck a little bit.
I guess.
You have to shake his hand. Oh, yeah.
That's how he's sitting.
I know.
It's so awkward.
So, where Miss DeVille was charmed by the circus, the problem is that she got too close to the bears and tigers that actually killed Mr. Giggles,
Oh no!
and she was actually trampled by the animals,
Mr.
Oh,
Giggles
no.
is dead?
Yeah, Mr.
Yeah.
Giggles has been dead for a while.
and she broke
We all have 2 dead.
many bones.
Oh no!
Um, and Darius, after he was swindled by that salesman, he was kind of distraught a little bit and decided to go out for a nice meal. And while he was having this nice meal, he had a nice steak. The only problem is about halfway through eating the steak, he realized that there was maggots
Ew.
in the meat.
Ew.
Discard 1 card from my hand.
Ew.
You, David!
Ew.
Discard that one.
That's upside down. Ew, Steven.
And then I get to draw 2 cards.
It is your turn.
I know.
Did you not get to draw back up after your
Nope.
last turn? Okay, so you essentially lost a turn. Okay, so suffering from sores, Pencils Pierre decided to go wandering. He walked out the front door on a very foggy night and disappeared in the fog.
But luckily, he had a second chance at life. He was found.
It's taking all I have right now. Do not.
Nope!
Nope. Cards. Or not nope, but I don't think you can nope. Oh, you can cancel it. But I feel like you need to keep that for one against you.
The game's almost over, though.
No, it's not.
No, it's not. I still have 2 more.
We're all at 2 now.
We're all at 2.
I kept from getting a third one.
Yeah, he kept me from getting the 3rd one. Alright. Fine. Miss Bonnie was the toast of the town. She threw a party and was disgraced at the dance.
So,
Not angry at all.
our friend Miss DeVille, who broke many bones, she was saddened because her 2 friends, Thumba Elsa and Samson O'Toole, were out in this swamp.
Oh yeah, they're still
And
out
they,
in the swamp.
they never came back. And so she went out to find them. The problem is she got caught because she had her broken leg.
Oh no.
And she actually drowned in a bog.
Hi, Ember.
Hello.
Hey.
And our friend Thumba Elsa, who found fame at this feast, she also found something else. The food was not quite cooked correctly, and the water had been tainted from the storm.
Tainted water.
And she actually was distressed by dysentery.
Oh no.
The player to my left may draw 2 random cards and discard them. I only have 2 cards left.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4,
One more.
Shuffle those cards. Derek.
Mhm. His wife was upset that they were shunned. She decided it would be very easy to just mince a brain and bake it into a pie.
Pie. Nice. Alright, well,
I'm not done.
okay.
She's ugly. She's a professor. She does experiments. And while her experiments were wonderful and she won Nobel Peace Prizes, well, maybe not Peace Prizes. She won Nobel Awards. She went to be knighted by the Queen, but during the knighting was castigated.
Oh no! So our friend up there, Pencils Pierre. What was the last thing I put on him? Suffered from sores. Those sores eventually got so deep that he was consumed from within.
He's all sort of.
And then Chopper Johnson.
Chopper J.
He had too much credit card debt and was just crippled by creditors. Okay, the person to my left can take 2 cards and I shuffled them.
It's the person to your right.
Is the person to my right?
Yep. 2. So I can discard my entire hand if I want, right?
Yes.
But if I do that,
You can still only draw up at the end of your turn.
yeah, pointless.
Well,
It's not going to really do a whole lot. Actually, it will. Yes, it will. So, our friend who was disgraced at the dance, the dance was not going her way, and everything at the party was wrong. And this is before they had like Jello jigglers, and so the big thing was pudding.
What's a Jello jiggler?
You don't know what Jello jiggler is? It's where you take Jello and you cut it out with like a cookie cutter, and it's like in the shape of things.
I just ate Jello.
And so there's something about this pudding that just perturbed her. She was perturbed by the pudding.
I was perturbed by the pudding. What does it do to me? Oh, nothing. Oh, it just drops me down to 5.
But not always
He didn't
lost.
grow up in West Virginia, so it's not a West Virginia thing.
I mean, I haven't heard of like using like a cookie cutter, but like making them into shapes.
Yeah.
Like you used to have, like I have a mold downstairs for little tiny like jelly beans.
Well, I mean, but like, even,
Jello
like
jelly beans.
even the cubes used to just be called Jello jigglers because when you like tap the glass or whatever was in it, would jiggle. Yeah. Look it up, youngins. All right.
Don't put him in your mouth. Don't know where it's been.
Michael's and here.
And in the
In
basement.
the basement with all kinds of creatures.
No, not in the box.
So
Yeah.
our friend who was perplexed by the pudding, not always lost that night though.
Listen, leave my perplexed pudding girl alone.
But not always lost, because at the end of the night, the people that stayed around drank a little bit, they decided that they wanted to play some poker.
Yeah?
And the one thing that she knew from her time in the speakeasies
Yeah?
is that she was very clever with cards.
She was. And is.
You get to draw a card.
Great.
And then I get to draw 2 cards.
Great.
And none of them I want.
Yeah, no kidding.
After she was castigated by the queen for her evil experiments, one of the queen's people pushed her down the stairs and she died.
Oh no!
She died.
Death.
How much is this worth?
20.
And that one down at the end?
30. I don't have very many points on the table.
No, he doesn't.
I'm going to play the Root of All Evil, which lets me draw 1 card from each opponent's hand, and if I control a character with a coin icon, I can play any number of those cards as a free play.
Pick your poison.
Sure.
Pick by the top edge.
I don't think that that's
Ooh.
fair.
That is fair. It's supposed to be random.
I feel like that is a much better way to do it.
It's supposed to be random. If you can see the back of the card, you'll know which ones could possibly be a
It's
rest
true.
in peace card.
Yeah, but they're clear for a reason.
Well, they're clear for a reason right here.
Yeah, but if it doesn't say in the rules,
It doesn't say in the rules I can't cover them up.
True. Pick your card.
please hold.
Neither one of them is rest in peace, so take whatever one you want. Neither one of those is rest in peace. Which one of those do you want? Neither one's a rest in peace, though.
It both says rest.
I know, but neither event cards, they are not rest in peace cards.
Okay. Where's that one I just drew from you?
I don't know.
There it is. Okay. I'm going to play Misfortune Favors the Old.
Misfortune favors the old.
But it doesn't matter which card you take from you, because you can play that as a free action this turn.
What?
The card he picked from you?
Oh, I don't know what he picked for me.
It says,
I know it's one of the ones that he played, what he picked.
if you control that, you may play any of these cards as a free action.
Yeah.
What a Drunk is also playing.
Ah.
So we'll go visit them after this.
Yeah.
The dead girl, who was chastised by the church, was then pursued by poodles from one of the ladies at the church. Can't do anything else there, and then I'm going to play this.
Yep, that ends the game.
And then, as the poodles were ravaging her, she choked on a bone. I guess she lost a tooth or something.
She lost a tooth.
Alright. Final scoring!
30, 40.
50.
10, I think.
165.
I only got 70.
I didn't get that. Because I only had
3 dead.
3 dead.
Yay!
All right.
Yeah!
I won again!
Woo!
So we are going to go visit our friends at Bored and Drunk because
Yeah.
right now they are actually playing Gloom as well.
Yeah! So,
So-
we'll continue the Gloom party.
Are they dressed up?
Yes.
Yes.
So we're going to do that. We will be back on Friday to play another game.
Yeah. We don't know what
Another
yet.
spoopy game.
No, the spoopy game.
Yeah.
We do know that.
So
Maybe like an Elder Sign or something.
Yeah.
Since it's Friday.
So thank you guys so much for hanging
Longer.
out with us. We go over there, drop your love bombs, tell me we said hello. Let them know we were playing Gloom with them.
It's like, hello!
We love you guys. Thank you so much for understanding and being patient with us starting a little bit later today.
Yeah.
If you're new,
Hi.
do you want to just do your spiel real quick?
If you're new, we're Board Game House. We play board games on the internet for you. We play Monday, Wednesdays, Fridays at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, except for tonight when we started at 8, which might become a little bit more frequent in the next like month or so, just due to rehearsal things. What else? Find us on our socials, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. That's where we post everything that we're doing. Also find us on YouTube where we post our how to plays and our VODs. And yeah, stick around for the raid. We're gonna go have some fun over at Bored and Drunk. They're cool people.
And they're drunk?
And if you're new here and haven't already, hit the follow button.
Hit that follow button.
Just let you know when we go live.
Yeah. Come join our Discord where we talk about all the things.
But yeah. Anyways, we love you guys. We'll see you on Friday. Have a wonderful rest of your week. We're halfway through it.
Yeah.
Bye, guys.
What happened to peace? Ooh.
Bye.